Hello and welcome back to Catch Your Moment. It is day 23 of our 31 day decluttering challenge. We are in the kitchen again and we are looking at kitchen tools. So cooking tools, mainly just like spoons and spatulas and all that stuff, not like pots and pans and like small appliances, just the stuff that we, keep in our hands when we're cooking. So we're gonna go through, I've got some that I keep in, actually it's a flower pot, like an enamel flower pot. I've had it for years. We're gonna go through it first and see which ones I use most often. And then I've got a drawer right here that has a bunch of other stuff, especially like measuring cups and baking supplies and stuff like that, that we'll look at and see if there's anything I can pull out. We do go through these fairly regularly, so there shouldn't be too many that I'm not aware of or that I can get rid of, but we're gonna see what we can do. So I wanna move the camera to where you can see a little bit better and then we'll get started. Okay, so this is the one that is that usually sits over next to the stove. I just brought it over here because the drawer is right underneath it, and I just figured it'd be easier if we did it all over here. So we keep all of our like wooden utensils over here. We use cast iron, and so to keep from scratching or anything, we use a lot of wooden. And I do use all of those, so I'm not getting rid of any of those. I do use silicone tongs, and then my husband likes the wooden tongs, so we have one of each. I use this quite a bit, and then so I've got one, two, actually there's 3 spatulas. The other one is in the drainer because I used it for eggs yesterday. This one, the faded one, they used to be the same color. The faded one is the one I use most often. I don't really use this one that much. It's stiffer, it doesn't like bend as well. So I do like this one better, but this one I use only really if this one's dirty. So I'm gonna keep this one. I'm gonna put this one away because I don't really use it. I also never use this unless we're barbecuing. That's the only time I use a brush for the most part. We have 2 ladles, and I only use ladles during winter, during soup time. So, and I think most of the time I use the smaller one. So I'm gonna leave the smaller one out, and I'm gonna put the other one up. That one over there. I do use this spoon. I don't use this slotted one very often, so I'm going to take it out. Because really, this pot should only have things that we use very often. I never use this because I'm either using cast or non-stick most of the time, so I don't use stainless on either one of those. So I'm gonna put that away. We have 2 whisks. We don't really need both of them over here. I use the red one more often, so I'm gonna leave it out. And we're gonna move that one. This one is when I use, or when we're making spaghetti. We use this one for pancakes. We don't really use that one anymore for cooking. I do use this one sometimes. What do I use that for? I know I use it. Look, it's actually it's probably not good. And then I use these for macaroni, mashed potatoes, stuff like that. So I did actually pull out all of that. So all of that is going. We don't need any of those. So let's put all of these back in here. And I will move you down and we will get into the drawer and see what all is in there, which should be interesting. So hang on. Okay, so here's my drawer. I do have a piece of shelf liner or something in there so they don't shift as much, although they still shift. I have 2 sets of measuring cups because we measure a lot when I'm using measuring cups. The 1 cup one, we could probably get by with just one, but I do use those pretty regular. These are utility scissors, and these are actually the food scissors. So these I don't use for food. These are only for if I'm cutting up some kind of meat or whatever. So that's why we have both in here. I have a peeler, which I have used recently. I have a pastry blender for when I make biscuits. These go with my hand mixer that I use. Now, this, I have 2, and I probably could get by with just 1. So I'm gonna keep this one because it's bigger, and I'm gonna put the smaller one away. This is like the best ice cream scoop in the world. Sorry. It is Pampered Chef, and it is actually, I think it has like, some kind of like antifreeze or something in it, because like the ice cream does not stick, and if you roll it in there, the ice cream will just like melt, and it can just cut through like hard, cold, frozen ice cream. It's great. I use this one when I do brownies or dressing or anything that you have to like cut and then scoop in square form. Fabulous. My pizza cutter. Now this is a pie cutter, and I don't use this one very often, so I could probably remove it. These are sporks that my husband used to carry in his lunchbox, because that way he'd have a spoon and a fork, so it's like his little stash of sporks, which probably shouldn't go in here either. We have a meat tenderizer for tenderizing meat. Here's an extra ice cream scoop. It is rare that the other one's not clean, so I'm gonna put this one away. We have a manual can opener. There we go, a manual can opener. Can't tell you how invaluable these are when there's no power, which I don't even think, I think I got rid of my electric can opener. I think I only use that one. I have these Pampered Chef measuring spoons. I do use them sometimes. I probably use the big one, teaspoon up to a tablespoon, a whole lot more than I use the 1/8 teaspoon up to a regular teaspoon. I don't really use that one, but I do use this one. But it's a set, so I feel like I have to keep it together. This little bin is just to hold, it holds my little like steak thermometer. I don't know if you can see that. Like it reads, come on. There we go. It reads rare, medium, and well. Isn't that cool? So it is your steak-o-meter. And then corn on the cob, skewers, and then there's a few, yeah, here's a full set of measuring spoons. I don't think that one goes there. I think that one goes there. And then a bottle opener. So I have those. I think these need to go together so nobody gets stabbed. But I keep all these in here, and that keeps kind of my little pieces easy to find. And then we have corn on the cob. Those are there. So I always keep that one in the back there. I also have a nutcracker and a wine stopper back here in the back. And then this goes to my hand mixer, but I have found that sometimes when I'm fixing something in like a small bowl, that I need a smaller whisk than the big ones that are in like my other container. So I keep this one, even though it's supposed to just be for the hand mixer, but I use it like with my hand. It's a hand mixer, literally. So we didn't get rid of a whole lot there, I think. Well, we got rid of all this. So all that come out of here. So I'm gonna put all that away because we don't really use any of it. Put that there. I always keep my pastry blender down here in the front, and you didn't see, it's a knife sharpener. It just stays right there in the corner. I try to put the sharp stuff to where it is easy to not get cut. I don't want my kids to reach in here and get cut on something, so that's kind of what I do there. And then we'll just lay those. These go over here. Ice cream scoop, and then The scissors always just end up getting thrown on top, so I'm just gonna kind of tuck them right there, and that way I can kind of see it and grab it and put it back, hopefully. That's the goal, right? For today 22, clean out your kitchen utensil drawers, bins, you know, wherever you have kitchen utensils. Go through, you know what you have used like in the last 6 months. If you've not used it in the last 6 months, get it out. This is your prime real estate in your kitchen, is your drawers and stuff. So clean them out, get rid of the stuff that you're not using anymore, and make your kitchen function a whole lot easier. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you for day 23. Bye guys.